Scene script. Have you ever felt like you're being manipulated, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Imagine walking a tightrope, blindfolded, as someone else tugs on invisible strings attached to you, guiding your every move without you realizing it. This is emotional manipulation in a nutshell, a subtle yet powerful force that can quietly erode your mental health and well-being. Emotional manipulation is like an unseen puppet master, pulling the strings from behind the curtain. It's all about control, with the manipulator using your emotions as their tools. They may employ guilt, fear, or even love to make you behave in ways that serve their interests, often at the expense of your own. It's a hidden dance of power, one where the puppeteer is always a step ahead and the puppet, often unaware, follows suit. The cunning nature of emotional manipulation makes it hard to recognize. It's like a slow-growing vine, quietly twisting around you, tightening its grip while you remain oblivious to its presence. But understanding this insidious process is crucial, because knowledge is power, the power to see, the power to act, and the power to reclaim control over your own emotions. The signs of emotional manipulation can be subtle. They're often wrapped in layers of kindness, concern, or love, making them difficult to discern. It's like being handed a beautifully wrapped gift, only to find a ticking time bomb inside. But once we learn to spot these signs, we can begin to defuse the bomb before it wreaks havoc on our lives. Emotional manipulation can have profound effects, leaving scars on one's mental landscape. It can lead to feelings of confusion, self-doubt, and even guilt. It can make you question your own reality and erode your sense of self. But remember, it's not your fault. You're not alone in this struggle, and there are ways to heal and regain control. Understanding emotional manipulation is the first step towards reclaiming your emotional autonomy. It's about learning to see the invisible puppet strings, and then cutting them loose. It's a journey, but it's one worth embarking on for your own peace of mind and well-being. What does emotional manipulation look like? How can you spot it? Let's delve into this. One of the first signs of emotional manipulation is guilt tripping. This is when someone makes you feel guilty for not doing something they want you to do. They may say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would," or "After all I've done for you, this is how you repay me." These statements are designed to make you question your actions and feel bad about your decisions. Another common sign is gaslighting. This is when someone tries to make you doubt your own perception of reality. They may outright deny something happened, even if you clearly remember it, or they may twist the facts to suit their narrative. For instance, if you confront them about something they did, they might say, "You're remembering it wrong," or "You're too sensitive." Playing the victim is another tactic emotionally manipulative people use. They always portray themselves as the innocent party, no matter what. They might say things like, "You always blame me for everything," or "Why is it always my fault?" This strategy shifts the focus away from their actions and onto your reaction, making you feel guilty for calling them out. Constant criticism is another sign. If someone is always criticizing you, belittling your achievements, and making you feel inadequate, they're likely emotionally manipulating you. They might say things like, "You could have done better," or "That's not good enough." This constant criticism erodes your self-confidence and makes you more reliant on their validation. Remember, these are just a few examples. Emotional manipulation can take many forms, and it's not always this blatant. It can be subtle, insidious, and difficult to spot. But by being aware of these signs, you're already taking the first steps towards protecting yourself. Recognizing these signs is crucial in identifying if you're being emotionally manipulated. Stay tuned for our next scene where we'll discuss the effects of emotional manipulation. How does emotional manipulation affect you? What are its impacts? Emotional manipulation, an invisible poison, seeps into your psyche, transforming the way you perceive yourself and the world around you. The effects are profound, often going unnoticed until they've deeply entwined with your sense of self. One of the most significant impacts is a noticeable drop in self-esteem. The manipulator, like a skilled sculptor, chisels away at your confidence bit by bit until you're left doubting your worth. You may start to believe that you're incapable, unworthy, or inferior. This erosion of self-esteem is subtle, insidious, and devastatingly effective. Alongside this, emotional manipulation breeds a constant state of self-doubt. The manipulator's words and actions are designed to make you question your own judgment, your decisions, even your memories. You may find yourself always second-guessing, unable to trust your own instincts. This continuous self-doubt is mentally exhausting, leaving you feeling perpetually uncertain and confused. Feelings of guilt and shame are also common effects of emotional manipulation. The manipulator often uses guilt tripping as a tool to control you. You might start to feel guilty for standing up for yourself or expressing your needs. Shame, too, becomes a constant companion, as you're made to feel bad for things that are not your fault. Anxiety and depression are other potential side effects, as the stress of emotional manipulation takes a toll on your mental health. You might feel a constant sense of dread, struggle with feelings of sadness, or find it difficult to find joy in things you once loved. Understanding these effects of emotional manipulation is crucial, for awareness is the first step towards healing. Ignoring these impacts only allows the manipulation to continue unchecked, further damaging your mental and emotional health. Remember, acknowledging the effects of emotional manipulation doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to confront the reality of your situation, brave enough to recognize the pain, and resilient enough to seek change. Unveiling these effects brings us one step closer to healing. Let's continue our journey towards understanding and healing in the next scene. How can you heal from emotional manipulation? Let's dive into this critical aspect of recovery, which is often a journey filled with ups and downs. Healing from emotional manipulation requires time and effort, but with the right tools and strategies, it can be achieved. Firstly, seeking professional help is an essential step. Therapists or counselors trained in dealing with emotional manipulation can provide you with the necessary guidance and support. They can help you unravel the complex emotions you're feeling, understand the manipulation you've experienced, and equip you with strategies to prevent future occurrences. Another crucial element in healing is setting boundaries. Boundaries aren't just physical, they're emotional too. They define where you end and another person begins. Setting boundaries means standing up for your rights, your feelings, and your self-worth. It requires you to say no when you feel uncomfortable or when someone oversteps their mark. Remember, it's okay to protect your mental and emotional space. Practicing self-care is equally important. This isn't just about bubble baths and spa days, although those are great too. Self-care is about honoring your needs and making time to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. It could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, meditating, or even reading a good book. By caring for ourselves, we replenish our energy and build resilience against future emotional manipulation. A significant part of this healing journey is seeking support. This could be in the form of friends, family, or support groups. Sharing your experiences with others who understand can be incredibly therapeutic and empowering. They provide a safe space to express your feelings and fears, and their shared experiences can offer invaluable insights. Remember, healing isn't linear. There may be days when you feel strong and empowered, and other days when the pain feels fresh all over again. But that's okay. Give yourself permission to feel, to heal at your own pace. Healing is a journey, but it's one you don't have to walk alone. You're stronger than you think, and with the right support and tools, you can overcome emotional manipulation and reclaim your life. So, what have we learned about emotional manipulation today? We've journeyed through the shadowy realm of emotional manipulation, peering into its many facets. We've seen how it operates, like invisible puppet strings, subtly directing our emotions, actions, and thoughts to serve the manipulator's agenda. It's a covert operation, often going unnoticed, making it all the more insidious. We delved into the signs of emotional manipulation, which can be as subtle as a dismissive comment, or as glaring as constant criticism. We've learned that manipulators often play on our fears and insecurities, making us question our own perceptions and reality. They employ tactics like guilt tripping, gaslighting, and emotional blackmail to control and influence us. We also explored the profound effects emotional manipulation can have on our mental and emotional health. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. It can make us feel like we're walking on eggshells, always second-guessing ourselves and feeling trapped in a cycle of confusion and self-doubt. But it's not all gloom and doom. We discussed the path to healing from emotional manipulation, a journey that starts with awareness and understanding. We learned about the importance of setting boundaries, seeking support, and practicing self-care. We learned that we can choose to respond, not react, and that we have the power to break the cycle of manipulation. This journey to healing is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires patience, perseverance, and a lot of self-compassion. It's about learning to trust ourselves again, to validate our own feelings and experiences, and to reclaim our emotional autonomy. In concluding, it's crucial to remember that we all have the innate power to cut the puppet strings of emotional manipulation. we can choose to step out of the shadowy realm and into the light of emotional freedom. Remember, recognizing and healing from emotional manipulation is a journey towards emotional autonomy and well-being. You have the power to cut the puppet strings and reclaim your emotional freedom.